was an incredible event.
And I highly recommend Roofr.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Rise Spotlight Speaker. Today I am joined by Erik L. Roofr Villareal from Texas Family Roofing. How's it going, dude?
I did a good job. It's going great. It's going great. And that's a long name there.
Right. You know what? In my phone, it still says Erik L. Roofr. And I was, you and I have been following each other over the past several years. And, that's how I always remembered who you were. So,
yeah, it kind of, stuck with me. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us a little bit about Texas Family Roofing.
So, well, they kind of have blended together now. And so it's one and the same. But a little bit about me is, I help run Texas Family Roofing. I'm a family man, father, husband. I love to be active. I'm a loud person. My personality is loud. I think anybody who has been around me for 30 seconds or more will find out. But I like to have fun. I like to stay positive, and just have a good time, really enjoy everything I can, and get the most out of life, and that includes working hard. And that's kind of where Texas Family takes over. And what has gotten, what's helped grow Texas Family, that mindset and that vibe that we put out. We're a fun company, and so we work hard. We play hard, type mentality.
That's awesome. Yeah, no doubt. I see you guys having fun all the time on social and in your videos, and then also in your social posts. So it's great to see. It's hard out there, right? So you got to try to make sure you find all the new ways to market yourself. But we'll talk about that in just a minute. What's something that you like to do outside of roofing besides being a family man? What's one of your favorite things to do?
Anything that involves water. So being out at the beach, fishing, being on a boat, water is just something that I've always gravitated to. So I would say, I recently actually got into fishing, believe it or not. As much as I love water, I never really was a fisherman until this past year. I went out a handful of times, went deep sea fishing, did a lot of bay fishing. So fishing's, I guess, becoming something that I like to do,
Man, you're rich. Like that's an expensive sport. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I could have said golf, but
right.
No, fishing is expensive though. I will say that I'm fortunate that I have friends that have boats, so I don't have a boat. I don't have that headache, but yes, it is. Even at that, it's still costly. There's a lot that is involved in it if you really want to go after it the right way.
I always tell the story to my friends. Like I grew up on a farm in Virginia, right? And we had 3 ponds and then also a river that ran behind our house. And I spent all my parents' money in the 80s and 90s on Rapala lures, so trying to fish for bass. But I definitely know the whole price of fishing game. Dude,
Yes.
what's one of the podcasts that you're listening to right now, or a book that you recently read?
So I listen. That's a lot of what I do is audiobooks and podcasts. Podcasts, I would say, the Big Stud podcast is one that I have on. Whenever I get a notification, it's always a good listen. And I've learned a lot of things outside of roofing, just business stuff. That's kind of cool. Books, I recently did a lot of the Traction, the Rocket Fuel, that whole series, and that really opened my mind to a lot of new ideas of how business should be.
Yeah, no doubt. So a lot of us are roofers or roofing salesmen, and then a lot of us don't make it to the businessman side of it. So we have to keep educating ourselves to be better, or to stay past that 5-year mark. So
that's just what I was going to say. If you want to grow, if you want to surpass it, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, you have to keep growing and evolving. Because this place is hard. Who's somebody that you look up to and why?
Man, that's always a tough question that I, often think about. There's a lot of cliche things you could say, but as ironic as it is, my dad,
Yeah,
he actually came from business. He had a family-owned business that his parents owned and operated in Western boots and stuff like that. Um, he grew out of that and did his own thing, got into selling, and he just taught me a lot of the basics of selling that I still use today, even though I went to school and everything. That no one teaches you.
yeah,
Presenting yourself, presentation, um, and waking up and beating everyone else to the punch, basically. You know, uh, Stuff like that. Just basic elementary 101 that you would think is common. A lot of people to this day don't know. One of the biggest takeaways that I take from him is presentation. And as relaxed as we have all gotten in an appearance because of whatever you want to call it. It drives me nuts when I see someone with an untucked, or not untucked, but like a wrinkled shirt.
yeah,
He taught me that from day one, is never have a wrinkled shirt. And I don't know why it stuck with me. So to this day, like if I put on a shirt in the morning and it's got a wrinkle, I'm gonna get it out with a dryer and iron or whatever, or get a new shirt altogether. So
yeah.
that's like one of my pet peeves that he taught me. So little things like that, I think, is what's really those things in the back of my head on a daily reminder of what I need to do to show up and outperform everybody.
Yeah, that's same. For many years, I stood behind an iron, especially in the military, and then as a police officer. So,
Oh, that's
uh,
right. Yeah, so you can relate to that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
razor sharp sleeves and crisp collars, man. I always made
Well,
sure that my shirt and my pants looked nice.
believe it or not, he never made us do it, but he always told us the story of, because his dad was a Marine,
Yeah.
and he would have to bounce the quarter off the bed, and if the
Oh
quarter
yeah.
didn't bounce, then it wasn't done right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so every day, every morning, we had to make up our beds, and it just little things like that have stuck with me through these years. And I don't know, it's simple, simplistic things, but all of them come together, and
Yeah.
that's what the image that you portray when you're sitting in front of that potential client or customer or whoever it is you're trying to sell yourself to.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the same. I don't make my bed, but Karina does, thank goodness. But she does a great job of it. But whenever I was a single man living alone, I had those military style corners still on my bed.
Yep.
But
Yep.
let's switch gears just a little bit and let's talk a little bit about Texas Family Roofing, man. How's it going this year for you guys?
This year, I think we have grown the most out of the past 7, almost 8 years now. Um, as far as in the past, we went through growth, and we've scaled and we've downscaled and we've scaled and we've downscaled, and this time around, it's been the strongest growth. The mindset shift, I would say, not just between me and Paul, the other owner, is the whole leadership team, the whole company as a whole. We all have evolved, and I feel like it's like, wow, it took a while, but we're getting there now. And so we're
Yeah,
stronger than we've ever been. Um, we've been bigger as far as numbers go, but we're stronger and we're bigger than we've ever been in mindset and power and just ability to perform.
that's awesome, man. Let's talk about this. You and I are known for our social media presence a lot. People that know us out there in the world.
Mhm.
Organic or paid?
Organic, baby. It's all organic. I mean, it's all to this day, we still operate on organic. And when we dabble in the paid, it's
Yeah,
like it's not the same.
yeah. It's
So
a whole
organic
other beast.
100%.
You know,
Yeah, it
uh,
is.
at Roofr here, shout out to Daniel Forbes. He's our paid advertising person for Google and all things paid ads. But we're not the same. Like he and I are just
Yeah.
two different people. But
Yeah.
we'll never clash because he has a purpose for sure. But tell us a little bit about what you guys do to market yourselves.
So market, it's very much, we're very transparent. We
Yeah,
we don't really there's a saying, it's like don't create, document,
yeah,
and so there is, of course, creativity involved in that, but just document who you are and don't try and be somebody you're not. that alone coming across is going to be more relatable to a potential client than anything else.
Yep.
Clients see us out, eating lunch, having fun, going and doing fun things around town, and then we make videos about it, and it gravitates to them because they go do those same things. So
Yep.
why would they not feel more comfortable hiring that as a person that's going to be working on their home where their family sleeps?
Yeah.
So we do a lot of, we post all the time, 24/7. We go do fun things that are local to the community, and we post about it, and that
Right.
just gains traction. And like, oh, we saw y'all at Fiesta. Hey, come help us with our roof.
Right.
Literally, like we got customers while we're out there partying and having fun at Fiesta because we go there all swagged out with our gear, and that's just how we roll. But we do some marketing as far as like we try and run some ads here and there, but a lot of it is just sharing what we posted organically that we gain traction on, and then we take that and we share it in an ad sense. And it's like fuel to fire. It just goes crazy.
Yeah, I totally resonate with all of what you said just now, because that's exactly how social has worked for me in getting business on my own. But another thing that I'm sad for the people that aren't going to be able to go to Atlantic City. But shout out to, sorry, but there's a stupid fly there. Amanda Vinot Prommel is going to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and she's going to be talking about social proof and how organic marketing with she calls it a mom army of people that just
those are big.
always suggest her on all the Facebook group forums, and I'm excited
I have
to hear that.
I'm not a mom, but I have I guess I wouldn't call it the dad army, but I have Joseph Hughes talked about it. I'm sure you know who Joseph is. A long time ago, omnipresence, and everyone's always talked about it, but he really emphasizes it. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'd like to do. And not even knowing that I was trying to create that this whole time is omnipresence. And once you have that, people are going to recommend you without you even knowing it, So we get that a lot with local neighborhoods around town. That, who needs a roofer? This crazy dude that wears a chicken on his head, and dances on the roof, call him,
Yeah.
So it's funny how it works, but it is.
Amanda used to work with him at Contractor Dynamics, so that's
I figured.
She's great, but now she runs a company called Maven Roofing. But shout out to Amanda. But you know what? Let me ask you this: how have sales been? I know we were talking just before we got started today about the Austin storm. You guys already had a storm prior to that, I think, and here in Colorado, we've had 7 storms this year. But how's business been for you guys?
Business has been pretty damn good. One of the reasons that I got into roofing is because that you watch enough videos of the big names in roofing, and they always talk about how roofing is something that someone always going to need. It's a necessity. It's an essential thing. Because I came from the corporate world. I gave up the 9-to-5, all that cushion salary, and I jumped straight into it. And roofing has been very good, though. The sales have been great. We had a little bit of a dip with back to school, which is normal.
Yeah.
And then we were blessed with a storm about a month later. It wasn't a big storm, but it was a big enough storm to support us here. And then about a month after that, we got hit with another crazy storm up there in Austin. And that one's huge. That was, I don't know if you remember the 16 storm that hit San Antonio, but it's comparable to that.
I remember that, the same one that hit Plano that year. So, that year was memorable for me because I was trying to find roofers that were able to go to San Antonio. There weren't a lot of reputable San Antonio roofers back then.
It wasn't cool like it is now.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a little bit different back then. But you know what? Let's talk about this. What are you telling your team to stay motivated right now?
So I kind of go all over the place, but I stick to the same principles. Is what are you here for? What's your why? What do you want to do? What attracted you to Texas family? And a lot of them will say the same things. They like what they see. They like the atmosphere, the what we put out there, and then they've seen us grow because maybe they've been following us for a while. So they see the growth. So it's just reminding them of what they need to do and why they actually joined. You know, when we bring you on board, we we uh, we interview and we have core values that we make sure that you kind of align with, and then we ask you, why do you? Oh my God, excuse me, that topo.
Topo Chico.
That Topo Chico, baby. That's why I love it. Um, we ask, you know, what is it that you actually want? And so we write them down. We write their goals down. And then whenever we see somebody struggling, you know, we pull them and we say, hey, look, you know, look, let's look back. This is your why. You know, what is there something going on that we can help you with? Is there something we can support, we can get you? And just remind everybody that what we're all here for, you know,
Yeah.
and that usually is all that's needed to motivate somebody. You know, that combined with the amount of positivity I try and throw up over everybody, you know, we have that positive one, you know, one team, one dream mindset.
Yeah.
And when we see someone struggling, we're a team, we're a family. We either help support them and see what we can do to help them, you know, get out of their funk, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch this to go back a little bit back to the marketing. If I meant to say something about this, but I was having a conversation about you. What city was I in last week? Oh, I was at the RCAT in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got to meet Catherine from Catchall,
Oh,
and
catch
then
all.
yeah, and then Heath, and then Chris Rice are really great friends of mine. And I was like, "Why aren't you
I
guys
love.
sponsoring?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna sponsor because Erik's there, and we love Erik." And so I watch your videos whenever you make one for the Catchall. But what's the Catchall been like working with?
Oh, dude, I love that whole group, the team. They've been awesome. You know,
Yeah,
we've been using the catch-all since forever. We bought it at one of the events, and we never looked back.
right.
And then I got in touch with them. I don't know if, well, I'm sure, hopefully, everybody saw the Alamo thing.
Yeah,
That's where we initially connected. You know, and they reached out, and I was like, guys, let's keep this fun going, and that was pretty much it. You know, and to this day. I actually just signed a roof replacement because of that video. They were like, you know, we saw that Alamo thing and we want to know like when's it gonna happen and stuff like that. And I was like, no, that was a joke. That was
yeah.
April Fool's joke. And they're like, what? They still thought it was a real deal. They thought that it was in the works still. And so the catch-all, I mean, we mesh really well together. They're just
Yeah,
like us in the sense of, you know, you can't take everything too seriously. I mean, business is business, and business, when business needs to be had, business needs to be had.
yeah.
But we're not saving lives here. We're roofing, you know. So
Yeah.
let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I haven't been to San Antonio before, honestly,
Really?
and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've been to Houston, I've been to Austin, I've been to Dallas, right? Never
Oh
been to San
man.
Antonio, so I'm
And
looking
you're
forward
coming at
to.
a good time.
I'm gonna go to the
It's not.
Alamo.
Yeah, let's go.
So
We need to
we'll
go.
get
We
out
need to
there.
go and take some pictures with Catch-all at the Alamo.
Let's do it. Well, you know what? I'll bring my
So
banner, you bring yours. So,
yeah,
uh,
there you go.
but let's talk about technology. What kind of technology are you guys using in your business, or have you seen it improve the way that you do business?
Oh yeah, dramatically. Even in my short time that I've been in roofing, technology has affected everything in a positive way.
Yeah.
I've been in roofing now for over 4.5 years, and believe it or not, my first uh, roof was on paper contract. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and now we don't. Who, you know what I mean? It's like, what is a paper contract?
Right.
So we utilize a lot. You know, we're using CRMs, Job Nimbus.
Right.
We actually use Roofr on a daily basis, you know, for our
Sure.
measurements. It's crazy to think that people are still pulling out that Stanley and, you know,
Yeah.
risking it up there just to measure. And it's like, come on, you know, there's so many other tools out there.
Right.
It's helped us in efficiency. It's helped us in speed and just professionalism. Like going back to the whole iron shirt, you know,
Yeah.
if you show up and you're presenting, and yeah, sometimes you're going to relate more to somebody that relates to the paper, you know, old school salesman, you know, spread out on the kitchen table. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't still fit the part and look like a 2023 salesman professional. You know, you're
Right.
still going to sit down with them. You're still going to go over everything, but now it's digitalized all in here, you know, on iPads. And if you're not utilizing the software and the tools, it's just like showing up to work without the right tools. You know, you're showing up to work without, you know, company cam, without Job Nimbus, without Roofr. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
know? So we have definitely utilized technology We're on it all the time. Like, what's new, what's latest and greatest. We want to know. We want to be the first ones in. We do beta programs for a lot of software companies, because we just want to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Um, like the whole thing. It's like, it's just, you have to.
Yeah, I ask that question often of people, maybe not as much as I should, I wish I'd probably do it more, but people are still handwriting sales proposals, and I've even seen some really distasteful proposals, like, here, change out roof, put new shingles on, right?
Yeah.
Like what are you guys thinking? Like,
Yeah.
2020 to 2022, COVID destroyed everything handwritten, and it was all digital. But nowadays, we're seeing, if you are using a roofer proposal or another type of digital sales proposal, like the sales rate goes up 1.7x.
Oh yeah.
So you should be doing everything you can to provide as much education and information. And there's no way, or no better way than to have your homeowner sign off that they received a copy of what they're getting on their roof, what type of warranty you offer, what your company is like, and that way they see it all right in front of them. So yeah, shout out
And
to you guys for using that.
that's only going to get more emphasized.
Yeah,
The next generation that's buying these homes that are going
yeah,
to be your next customers,
yeah,
they grew up on the, you know how to do it,
yeah.
then somebody else is going to swoop in and steal that away from you.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. I've always preached, you have to evolve, or you're going to get run over, especially by these kids. I call them kids,
Yeah.
right? Like they know this technology stuff better than we do, and it
Yeah.
makes it so
I
hard
mean,
for old guys like ourselves.
yeah, think about the average person, that the younger, whatever you want to call them, the Gen
Yeah,
Zs, or I don't even know anymore,
yeah,
but they're at work, or they're YouTubers, or they're
yeah,
they're working out and about, they're on the go 100 miles an hour. It's going to get to the point where, like, yeah, man, just email me the proposal and I'll look at it, and if I like it, what I see, I'll sign it tonight when I get home.
yeah, no
I'll probably
doubt.
get approval at midnight, and that's how it's gonna, that's what it's gonna come to. So if you don't learn it now, you're really gonna be screwed in a couple of years. That's how
Yeah.
I feel, at least.
My kids go to a regular elementary school. They're in the third grade, both of my 9-year-olds, and they actually just completed an influencer training class,
Oh,
where
that's
it was an
crazy.
after school training class, and they had to get chosen to be a part of it. And
Wow, that's awesome.
they learned how to create marketing content. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are 9,
Yeah.
but you're already
Hey,
learning.
my
So
5-year-old comes to me and says, "Daddy, let's make a video," and she already knows my taglines. She knows my sign off,
yeah,
everything, and I'm just like, I get blown away by it. You
yeah.
know.
No doubt.
So
I'm there too, man. You know what? Let's go to close here. Tell us one piece of advice or a word of wisdom that maybe you would tell somebody that might be struggling, or looking to get into the roofing space.
struggling, it's one of those things that it's hard to wrap up in a short term, but reach out, look for help. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people, in especially like in any kind of in trades, in the trades, any kind of labor intensive industry, there's a sense of pride, and it comes with ego, and it comes with everything else, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you need help, you need help,
yeah,
and you should, we do that here. We reach out to other local roofer owners, and we've actually formed a group, and we get together once a month, and we trade best practices, and we ask that question to them: hey, who needs help? Maybe I don't need anything today, maybe
right.
next week or next month I need something because I'm struggling with this. So give it when you can, take it when you need it. But that would be my biggest recommendation is, if you're in it and you're struggling, don't be afraid to reach out, because chances are someone's going to have the same problem or has had the same problem as you.
Yeah,
If you're looking to get into roofing, you know, get hooked up with somebody that knows roofing, has a good reputation, that's willing to help teach you.
yeah,
Because if you try and take it on yourself, everyone thinks it's easy, and it's not easy at all. It's hard as hell. So if you're looking to get into it, try and learn it before you think you can just go out and do it yourself,
yeah.
because
No
chances
doubt.
are you're going to struggle, and it's going to be 10 times as harder than it needs to be, you know. I think that, you know, that's pretty much it, is reach out to somebody, you know, see who you can work with instead of trying or working against.
No doubt, man. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Is going to be one of our speakers at the San Antonio Rise event coming up in a few weeks, and we're looking forward to having him. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can go to the bottom of the screen right there. It says get your tickets at roofr.com/rise. That's Roofr, ROFR.com/RISC. And, you know, Benjamin Tiger will also be at the San Antonio event speaking that day. James Bonduc, Chandler Milliken, and Gennaro Montalago. So we're really looking forward to having you guys there. And thank you guys so much. And don't forget to like, share, comment on this video. And we'll see you guys soon. Erik, hold on one second.
This was an incredible event.
And I highly recommend Roofr.